How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to MSOS Stock Picks. I'm Matt, and tonight for you I have a continuation article from ticker symbol CLVR. That's Clever Leaves. When it comes to cannabis, former Senate Majority Leader Kham Dashal has a change of heart. During his tenure as a public servant, he preferred to keep marijuana in the DEA Schedule I category alongside drugs that aren't considered safe to use even under medical supervision. I was into all that mindset for many years. I experienced the 60s and 70s and saw the downside of drugs. Josh told Benzinga, and I think there was a mentality that the best way to address drug abuse and the challenges we face with drugs generally, not necessarily cannabis, was to try to dissuade people from using drugs by enforcing the laws. And I think that mentality was very persuasive and it was bipartisan. Today the scenario has changed. Cannabis is legal for all adults in 11 states for medical purposes and 34 in 5 more states, New Jersey, Montana, Arizona, Mississippi, and South Dakota, recently voted to legalize it. And Dashal had changed his tune. Last year, he even joined the board of advisors for cannabis company Clever Leaves Holding Inc., NASDAQ CLVR, a multinational cannabis company with cultivation operations in Colombia and Portugal. The former senator knows Clever Leaves CEO and co-founder Kyle Detweiler well. They are both South Dakotans. We have a strong connection, Dashal says. Kyle has a photo with me when he was in high school and when I was in Congress. In 1978, Dashal was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where he served 8 years. In 1986, he was elected to the U.S. Senate, where he was chosen as Senate Democratic leader in 1994. With his political career behind him, Dashal is lending his expertise to the business of cannabis. But over time, science, more information, new approaches to medicine, and really some appreciation of the disjointed history around all of this, it all came to converge. Dashal adds, and I became intrigued by the medical and medicinal advantages and the opportunities that cannabis provides. There are also deals that get done. Dashal, however, downplays the lucrative aspects of the business. Frankly, I'm at a stage in my life where I don't need the money. I've been very successful in my life and money isn't a motivator. I can agree with that, he says, and I'm at a point where I want to do things that I really care about. I want to do the things where I think I can still add some value. I want to do some things that can maybe matter for my children and grandchildren and for future generations. So money isn't a real motivation for me. I'm happy to accept monetary compensation for the things that I do, but I must say there are many things far more important to me than money. The full spectrum. Dashal isn't the only politico to have changed his mind about cannabis in recent years. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner once unalterably opposed to cannabis legalization, and today he sits on the board of New York-based cannabis company Acreage Holdings, OTCQX, ticker symbol ACRDF. President-elect Joe Biden's political career was also opposed to cannabis, yet during his 2020 campaign, Biden stated that his administration would pursue cannabis decriminalization and expunge cannabis convictions. For Dashal, his focus is on the medical benefits. I've done quite a bit of reading. I don't think there was any one moment where I just clicked. It was an evolution. I recognize that in healthcare, especially things that are changing dramatically, Dashal says, we're in the middle of a transformation in healthcare, COVID-driven in part, but driven by many different factors. I've done quite a bit of reading along these factors generating change in healthcare and is the advent of cannabis as mainstream medicine. As a military veteran himself, Dashal is particularly interested in the use of cannabis for treatment of PTSD. One of the things that I have taken a great interest in over all of my professional life are veterans. And I serve on the House and Senate Veterans Affairs Committee for 26 years. He says, so I took a real interest in PTSD and came to appreciate the potential of cannabis as we took to the medicinal advantages and opportunities that it may provide for not only PTSD patients, but others as well. In his view, the DEA needs to reschedule the plant so it can be studied. Researching is really key to our efforts, and that opens up a plethora of opportunity for more research, more understanding, he declares. But when will we see cannabis rescheduled and legalized in the former politician's view? It's just a matter of time. I think the patchwork that we have today is a step in the right direction, but you don't really know where to go from one state to the next where the laws are. You have to do your own research to find out, and while it's not that difficult to do, I think it is important for us to have a national rather than a statewide framework. I think that day will come relatively soon. This month, a historic vote was made in the U.S. House of Representatives in favor of the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement MORE Act, a bill constructed to remove marijuana from the list of federally controlled substances and abolish criminal penalties connected to cannabis. The House subsequently passed a bill to reduce barriers and broaden scientific research into the medicinal cannabis sector. It also enables private manufacturing and distribution of cannabis exclusively for research demands. We've made great progress in the last election on state ballot issues across the country, Dalshill said. And I think we can continue to do that. In the meantime, we ought to continue to elevate this issue at the federal level and hope that more and more members in Congress understand, as I've come to understand, just what potential there is. Why Clever Leaves? There are 3 reasons for Dalshill's being bullish when it comes to Clever Leaves. 1, their adherence to law and their determination to stay within the parameters of current law, and to respect that they've done that extremely well. He says. Secondly, their dedication to medical applications of cannabis. That really is what led me to explore the partnership and the relationship we have. And I think they're just getting started. There's some real potential there. Third is the company's international breadth and scope, he explains. An amazing success story in a very short period of time, obviously starting in Colombia, Canada, and Europe with Portugal, Dalshill adds. And that's just an enormous footprint for a cannabis company as young as it is, and it has really done extremely well. So I'm impressed with their international scope, their focus on medicine, and my personal relationship with people like Kyle. Dalshill also touts that it's so much easier to run a successful cannabis business legally in Colombia than it is to in the United States. That will change, and as it does, I'm sure Clever Leaf's footprint in the United States will grow dramatically, he says. But I think Colombia has a great economy. I've been there on a number of occasions and have a great affection of fondness for the country. I've traveled to the country quite a bit, so I've had the opportunity to better understand Colombia. And obviously, because of its remarkable growing economy, it's perfect for the cannabis production aspects of our lives. Whether Dalshill will partake in using cannabis himself remains to be seen. You know, I like a good glass of wine. I like a good brandy or a good gin, he says. I have to admit, I'm not a user of cannabis, but I think people find it to be recreationally equivalent to moderate use of alcohol. And everything in moderation sounds like the best approach going forward. Now that article is from December 29th. It came out on Benzinga Pro, Benzinga Newswire at 9:58 a.m. I posted a list of ticker symbols to keep on your watch list for tomorrow. Obviously, as we all know, they are voting in the Senate for the bill tomorrow. I'm optimistic. If it doesn't get passed, we will still get a run-up on marijuana cannabis ticker symbols. I still believe that the hype is going to pump these tickers and we will see a run-up. I'm long CLVR, really long. I'm not selling my warrants until they hit my PTs, and then I'll most likely add shares, or I might even exercise a call because I added a call at a very low strike. I might just add that down the road. We'll see. I'll let you know what I decide to do. But again, check my TikTok for another short video going into a few of these marijuana ticker symbols that I posted on Twitter. And I'll leave all the links for you guys in the descriptions. Have a good night. I hope everyone had fun today. It wasn't a great day, but it looks like futures are recovering right now. It is 9:39 when I'm filming this, and futures seem to be in a bull run from the time they closed, from the time the market closed. So with that, I hope everyone has a good night, and I will see you first thing in the morning in live trading on NextGen, and I will still be in CAM small caps, posting all my options callouts and helping as much as I can wherever I can, as much as possible. Thank you guys, and have a good night. Take care.